you don't need to be someone else's bad. You don't need to be someone else's or what you view as bad to get help. Saving one life is enough. So all of the stuff that we do, if we can help one person, it makes it worth it. Yeah. Certain sectors of the industry, their health and well-being is worse than the general population. 25% are going to reach out to their peers before they access any support anywhere else.
This episode is sponsored by BM Catalysts, Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs and front pipes, helping to keep vehicles running cleaner and greener.
I will never read that again.
Welcome back to Garage Talk Unwrapped, the podcast with me, Vicky.
And me, Ben, who can't say that advert.
Wadvert.
Wadvert. This week, I'm going to have to say this correctly, our guest is Ellen Plumer from Ben Support for Life, the automotive charity, which I know very well at the moment.
Are you talking about your 24-hour radiothon?
Yes.
Yeah, so
20th of August.
We'll talk about it after the chat with Ellen because we want to get straight into it. But we are doing a 24-hour radio show, or you are, right?
I am, yeah.
On the 20th of August. But this chat with Ellen is all about the charity, what they do to support people working in automotive and their families, and kind of things to look out for if you think people may be struggling and what the common issues are at the moment. So let's get into it.
Welcome to another Garage Talk podcast. Today's guest is Ellen Plumer from Ben. Good afternoon, Ellen. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to see us at our brand new work in progress studio.
Lovely.
So today we are talking about Ben Support for Life, a charity specifically for the automotive industry. Now, I could have a go at explaining what Ben do and the support you provide through advice and tools, etc., but I think you'll do a much better job.
Oh, a far better job.
Hopefully.
So for anyone who might not know about Ben yet, can you tell us what Ben does for people in the automotive industry and what your role is within the charity?
Yeah. So Ben is the only automotive charity dedicated to supporting the people of the automotive industry. So our focus is supporting people who work or have worked in automotive. And the difference between us and other charities is we aren't cause-based. So we support people in automotive because they've worked or have worked in automotive. And that's your only requirement to get help from Ben. And we can help you with anything. So we try and really help holistically. So people's mental health, physical health, financial support. We can genuinely do anything. There is obviously restrictions to what we can do. We can't support with legal advice and we can't support with any kind of statutory debt, but we can support other things. And I think that's the key to getting people to understand that we may not be able to help you with the direct problem, but we can always help you with other things that reduce the stress and strain off of that main problem. So you come out of the other end hopefully in a better place.
And what's your role?
My role is interesting, isn't it, really?
We know. This is for the audience.
What's your job title?
Head of Awareness and Experience.
Okay.
So I manage marketing, comms, user experience, and our outreach teams. So anything you see externally from Ben that raising awareness is my teams. And we try and tell people that we are there for them and we try and raise awareness. So currently we're about 1 in 6 people aware in the industry, so not many. It's about 850,000 people working in automotive currently and about 3.3 million people eligible for our services. So
That's
we can
huge.
support people's families and financial dependence. So 3.3 million people I need to tell really about Ben. But yeah, it's a big job. So we need to increase that awareness massively and get people more support. Yeah. So that's my job.
We celebrated Ben's 120th birthday with you guys in 2025.
Was that your role in the original part, Ben?
120 years ago, yeah. My age seems to be a topic of conversation.
Yeah, before the podcast, you were being quite kind about that, Ben. I don't know what's happened. So obviously Ben has been around for a long time. How has it evolved in recent years?
So recently, obviously, we started with bicycles before cars existed. Then in the war, we went to looking after children of people that left because obviously the industry was male and a lot of them left to go to war. So we looked after their children. Then we moved into care homes and we still supported the industry for all of this time. So recently we have moved our care homes onto care operators. So we are now solely focused on the industry. And I think the big piece for us in the next coming 5 years up to 2030 really is that we are trying to get the industry to pull together, to work together. Like we can't do this on our own. There's a huge task. We know that certain sectors of the industry, their health and well-being is worse than the general population. So we need everybody to kind of play their part and take part in making that more successful, and ultimately it will help the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a big job to do, but so we need everybody's help too.
Let's look at that 5 years.
Yeah.
And also the last couple of years. What's the most common issues currently that are affecting people in garages and workshops? Because it's a lonely industry, this, because a lot of people work on their own in the garages, etc. What's the most common issue?
So from our survey, stress, anxiety are the biggest challenges people are dealing with. But there is generally something causing that. So we know that the cost of living crisis that's been happening is having a huge impact on people. And it's a slow wear. People thought it was going to be a short-term problem. So they tighten their finances for the short term, and it's just not let up. It's continuing to hit people. And every year it seems to be tightening hard. And I think people are getting to a point where what else gives? What more can people do? So we are seeing more people coming through with things like that. And that just adds, it's a stressful job anyway. The automotive industry is stressful, and there's a lot going on. So just that life on top of that is what we see the most of. And then we've got physical challenges. So lots of musculoskeletal issues because of the manual strain of the industry. So factories and obviously garages and stuff. You're doing a lot of manual kind of lifting and labour. So there's a lot of musculoskeletal issues as well.
And do you get, obviously we all know about the asbestos thing from the past. Do you get many of those cases still appearing?
Not a huge amount, but it's whether people attribute their health to that. I think we maybe support more than we know, but we maybe people don't call us and say, I'm calling because of that. Their health will be poor for another reason. And I think that's a really good question, because people don't necessarily attribute things to each other. So they don't necessarily think this has happened, so this is why I feel stressed, or this is why. They don't put those two things together. So I couldn't tell you if that was a yes or a no, but I would suggest we still see people, especially at that retirement age. So.
Yeah.
And without sharing personal stories, of course, can you give us a sense of how Ben helps people through some of the situations like stress and anxiety you mentioned most, and the physical stuff? What kind of things do you do to support people?
So it's probably useful to give people a bit of an understanding of how that works, how you get support. So you can call our helpline, or you can go on our website. There's lots of stuff that you can self-serve on our website. But people call our helpline, and you'll get through to a helpline advisor if it's 8 till 8. Or outside of those hours, we have a line that picks that up, that you'll get straight through to a counsellor. But if it's 8 till 8, you'll get through to one of our helpline advisors who are trained to pick this up, and they will talk through all of the stuff that's going on in your world. And as I said before, we don't necessarily just help with one thing. So it's useful for us to know what is happening around your world and what's going on, because then we can see what we can help with. If people just call us, we can take the pressure off. This is something we can't help with. We can take the pressure off by helping with something else. So you go through that process. They'll do some admin, take some information off you, and you'll eventually go through to a caseworker if you need one, and they will manage any support that we're given. That could be financial assistance, that could be sessions of counselling, that could be anything that you need or we've identified that we could support you with. That case manager will manage that and keep you kind of communicated with.
So you get one person for your case, so to speak. So trust obviously builds.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably best ask the next question, because we're obviously a traditionally male-dominated industry. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
With seemingly, or from the past, an attitude of just get on with it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changing in workshops? Do you think men's mental health is becoming more open to being helped through crisis?
I think it is, to a point. I think the challenges we're seeing now are around what happens when people speak out. So there's a lot of challenges around that safe place at work, and people see how people react to what they're saying, and they test the waters. So if they're going to tell people something that means a lot to them, they'll test that usually first, and they'll see what the reaction of the people will be. And I think that's where it's really important that people are conscious about how they react to people expressing their feelings. even at a low level, it could be quite jovial, but if they get a negative response back from that, they're probably not going to trust you with the bigger stuff. It's not about being really serious. It's about just being a bit attuned to if somebody's testing the waters, if they're going to tell you something, if they're going to reach out for support. We know that a lot more people, 25%, are going to reach out to their peers before they get access any support anywhere else. So that's before they reach out to their family, friends, they're going to reach out to their peers at work. So how you acknowledge people speaking out is just as important than people. So we can push and we can keep saying, please talk to people, talking makes it easier. But if you don't get a safe response, actually it puts people in a real vulnerable situation. So that's a key thing, I think, for garages.
Are you tired of chasing car parts over the phone? PartSync connects trade buyers with trusted suppliers in one platform. No calls, no delays, just parts. Get real choice, new, used or genuine OEM. Compare brands, warranty, price and delivery. Suppliers, connect with active trade buyers ready to buy your stock. PartSync, bringing the parts industry together. Book your demo at partsync.co.uk.
This isn't background noise. This is Garage Talk, the UK's independent automotive voice, now across 3 platforms. Garage Talk Radio streaming online on Alexa and catch up on Mixcloud. Garage Talk Unwrapped, the podcast, available on all good podcast platforms. Garage Talk Unwrapped, the video magazine. Watch and subscribe on YouTube. Breaking news, big conversations, real workshops, real stories. If you're in the trade, you should already be listening. Search Garage Talk. Turn it up, get involved.
Do you have a split on how male and female assistance that you give?
We actually support more females than the percentage of the industry, but that is probably, and I can't say this for fact, but it's probably down to the fact that females are more likely to reach out earlier. So we see a higher percentage of females, not a huge percentage more, but higher than that, the percentage split of the industry.
And I think personally, we're part of the IWF Gender Balance Council, and they changed that to called Equality Council. But I think that's important because I think that we obviously need to increase the female participation in the industry, and that's great. But on the other hand, then we can't forget the males that are part of the industry. We also need to say, look, we still are here for you. And actually, Ben is a vital part of your setup, of your makeup. Because as I said earlier, a lot of these men are on their own in the garage because they've been passed down from their dads, etc. So I think that's quite a vital part.
You'll notice at Ben, we support all of those initiatives, but we don't really go out with anything that's very much around the gender split because we are here for everybody. And that is genuine. We don't care who you are, what you do, where you've come from. If you've worked in automotive, you're eligible for our support. And it's so specialist around you and so tailored around you. It makes my job really difficult because I can't say what we will and won't do because we don't know who you are until you call. So the gender split for us isn't...
Does it worry you, though, that there's more females talking than males? Knowing the gender split in the industry, not in general, obviously.
I think it's a huge worry for us. We understand the pressures that male mental health and the challenges that exist in that area. And obviously, ultimately, the suicide rate is higher. And that is growing in females. So that is growing in that population of females. But that is the ultimate risk for us, that not reaching out and not accessing support. The end result is critical.
And we were going to talk about, Ben often says that it's important to get help early. That is why it's so important, isn't it? Because then you've got that time to make a difference before it gets to that stage.
Yeah, I think people feel like they have to deserve help and that you don't need to deserve it. Like you don't have to have suffered to get better. You can get better even if you're good. Like there's always better. You can always hope. So our life coaching, we don't want to life coach you when you're struggling. We want to life coach you when you want to achieve something more. So it's not coming to us when you're in crisis. It's coming to us when you've got an aspiration or you can talk about something or you're going through something that might get worse that we can help you with earlier. Also for us, it's a lot easier to help you earlier than it is to help you.
Yeah.
We will always
Yeah.
pick up people in a crisis. It's really, really important that I always say, no matter what your situation is, we will support. So if you are at a crisis point, we will help you. We can just help you easier if you called earlier.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately the issue.
Bit of a testimony for your services. We've accessed your life coaching services over the past 3 months, both of us, and we're openly willing to talk about this. But it was towards the back end last year we started, and at Christmas, I didn't realise this at the time. I would never realise this without your coaching. I was absolutely shattered last year, mainly because I work.
Yeah.
You know, we work long hours. You know, I put all my energy into it personally. And I know Vicky does as well. But I was actually, for the first time ever, I felt burnt out. But it was only through accessing the life coach and realising that I knew. So I wasn't in crisis.
Yeah.
But actually, if I hadn't have accessed your service when I did, I may have been. It's great just to talk to somebody. I still got a couple of sessions left. But I was getting angry last year towards silly little things. Not angry, I wasn't smashing things up, wasn't violent, but I was just...
Yes, you are.
But I wasn't.
Short and temper.
Yeah,
tolerance.
Short-tempered.
Yeah.
Not aggressive, just anything
short-tempered.
Yeah.
And Vicky noticed it, and I didn't. But accessing the coaching now, and actually, you said this, I've got off to a much better start. Realising when I'm tired
Yeah.
and I'm overworking, actually just taking, the pressure off myself.
It's just identifying those things. We've got a big bit of work to do this year where we want to help people identify those things, because I think saying I'm stressed, that's basically diagnosing yourself. What does stressed actually mean? So pulling that apart for people and allowing them to identify themselves within that. If I said to lots of people, like you just explained, are you burnt out? No. But if I then said, are you not sleeping? Are you more irritable than normal? If I listed out all of the things that would lead to burnout, you probably identify with a lot of them, as would a lot of people, but you wouldn't necessarily say, I'm burnt
You
out.
wouldn't label yourself as
So
it. Yeah.
there's a big piece of work for us to do this year about helping people identify earlier what the triggers are and what the signs are that they're going down a path that we can support with.
We talked about it was really good timing starting the coaching when we did. But what are some early warning signs that you could kind of tell our listeners just to identify when someone is struggling, but they're not saying anything? What can people look out for?
I think if you could sit down and talk to yourself and give yourself the advice, would you be saying to somebody else, you probably need to speak to somebody, or what are you doing about this? If you would be suggesting that to somebody else, then you should probably do it for yourself. It's just an easy way to judge whether you are self-doubt, you have self-doubt around that, or you're making it not enough. And you don't have to suffer to get help. So if you would be telling somebody else to get help in your situation, even if it was just to talk to somebody, then you should probably do it for yourself. But there's lots of things, like lots of habits and routines. If you can not sticking with your routine, if you're not sticking, like hygiene's a big one. Like if you can't be bothered to wash like you would normally, and that's all. It's all personal, isn't it? Some people are extremely obsessive about their cleanliness. So if that starts to drop, then but some people aren't. So it's your normal.
How many bottles of deodorant do I have in my drawer?
Oh, Ben, the hole in the ozone layer is all Ben's fault. He sprays so much deodorant on himself.
But it's true, because if I go to the supermarket and somebody smells, it makes me Eve. I can't stand it, so I would never do that. But I mean, I am obsessive. I know I am. So I've got daytime deodorant, nighttime deodorant. Honestly,
it's not a joke.
If I run out of nighttime deodorant, I hate that, because I don't want to use the daytime deodorant because it's too good.
I can't believe you're telling everybody this.
If you think like this about deodorant,
but it's important because it can be an issue that does drive you.
Yeah, I think it's understanding your baseline,
Yeah.
understanding when you're good, what does your life look like? And this is why it's really difficult, because you don't need to be someone else's bad. You don't need to be someone else's or what you view as bad to get help. You just need to be showing signs that you're not yourself.
That's so interesting, because like autumn last year, I kept saying to Ben, I feel really burnt out. Like I feel really tired. We've done way too much this year. And Ben was just like, no, it's a fight. I feel okay. So it's all right. We'll just get on with it. But that's really interesting because when you finally felt it, I think you were like,
that's
this is
what
what
it
you
is.
were feeling.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's realising the signs. And this year it'll be different. Will be.
Like people, resilience is everyone needs to be resilient, and we have a real thing about making people feel resilient. But to be resilient, you need to be looking after yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're not looking after yourself, you're not being resilient. So there is those two things. You can't be proud of being resilient if you're not looking after yourself.
And I think the thing with this industry is December is really busy.
Yeah.
We've got your fantastic ball. We've got the IWF event. We've got Fix My Car Awards. We've got other awards ceremonies. It's a really big time for the industry. So
you have to keep going.
Yeah, you have to. If you're near that burnout in October, as I realise now Victoria was, by December, you can guarantee you're going to be at the end of December. Because Christmas, you Victoria, you're quite ill, weren't you, over Christmas, really?
I was ill the whole time.
When you stop, then you get ill. But I think, again, it's knowing that it's coming to an end. People can sustain an uplift in activity if there is an end to that.
Yeah.
It's when the highs don't stop and it's when the lows don't stop that the problems come. Everyone has ups and downs. You're going to have bad days, good days. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel bad. Things are going to make you feel different ways. But if everything makes you feel numb and you're not feeling joy in anything and nothing can pick you up, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If everything is making you overexcited and you're burning yourself out because you'll go and there's no end to that, then that's a problem.
Okay.
So it's the extent,
Like two extremes.
it's the extremes of it.
So what's one thing you would tell a garage owner to do today to create a healthy working environment?
I think we covered it earlier, that safety within that garage. Before you react, think, is this something that someone's trying to tell me? Are they testing the water for telling me something bigger? Are they, before I make a joke or laugh at it, this isn't me saying you can't have a joke and a laugh in the garage at all. Like, I get it.
Because that's important.
It is so important and everybody loves that environment. But are people telling me this to test the water, to tell me something bigger? Like, you need to be a safe place for your staff to come and tell you. So just think about how you react to that.
Yeah.
When they tell you. That would be just take a minute to think, before I laugh and before I make a joke out of this, could this be something more?
Is it to the detriment of that person?
Yeah.
That's really good advice. You've mentioned it a couple of times, but not only do you help people working in the automotive sector now, you also support anyone who's ever worked in the industry and their families. Why is that important for Ben? Why do you do it?
Because I think we very much see automotive industry as a family. We're really lucky we get to sit in the middle of this massive industry with so many parts. But people who have worked in it, it very much becomes part of your life and who you are. And retirement is a real risk factor for people.
Yeah.
So we do spend a lot of time with people coming towards retirement because you lose your identity when you retire. You lose your routines, you lose your habits, you lose your support network around you, you lose your community, everything. So that automotive gives people that is what they've belonged to. Most people within the industry have been here within 10 plus years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
longevity is massive.
It's an industry that people stay in. So once you've got to the end of that, where do you go? You lose your automotive identity. So we support people all the way through that up until the end. So you are automotive. Once you get to stay with us forevermore. You don't get to leave.
we have seen examples of the support you give the wider community, and that's amazing.
But the fact that you help their families too, I mean, that surprised me when I learned it. I was like, that's so wide reaching. It's so supportive.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, we help anyone who is dependent on the industry. So if a family is financially, if the industry is funding that family, then we will support that family.
Amazing. What are the priorities over the next few years for Ben?
So next fuse up to 2030, we are really working on bringing the industry together and getting everybody to take a shared responsibility for the health and well-being of the industry. So it's a big piece of work to get everybody to do their part. So, and give you all parts to do as well. It's very easy for me to say, do more, but what? So giving people stuff to do and really getting people behind that. We've got a massive job in raising awareness. So we've still got a huge industry that don't even know about Ben, which blows my mind that there are still so many people that don't.
And it's awareness on two sides. It's one of the support you can give to other people, but as important is the support that you need to be able to support other people, isn't it? So there's a lot of balancing to do.
Yeah, I think there's levels to awareness, and there's obviously the brand awareness. And a lot of people can say, oh yeah, Ben, the charity, but people don't understand what we do. And I think what we've got to a point with in aftermarket especially is a point where people understand Ben. It's ingrained. I had a call from somebody and they kind of said on the call, I don't know how I ended up calling you. And I said, what do you mean? And they were like, because I just knew if I had a problem, Ben would help. So I don't know how I knew, but I just knew, like
just subconsciously.
Subconsciously that the only thing to do is just call Ben and they'll sort it out. So that's the level of awareness I want to get to. That's the mission, is to get people to just, if anything, just call us. If we can't help, we'll find someone who can. That's irrelevant. We'll help you find help. Right. So just call us. But we obviously have to fund that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come cheap. So we need to double our income, and we also want to help 3 times more people. So yeah, we've got a lot to do. Busy,
but yes, and that's a very admirable goal. But even if you help double the people, you've increased your capacity, and that's amazing.
Yeah, saving one life is enough. So all of the stuff that we do, if we can help one person, it makes it worth it. Yeah,
got to start with one, haven't you, and build from there.
Ben is a charity for anyone who works or has ever worked in the automotive industry and their families. We're here to listen and support you through life's toughest challenges. Call our free confidential helpline on 08081 311 333 or visit ben.org.uk for online support with your health and wellbeing.
When quality matters and emissions count, demand precision. BM Catalyst is Europe's leading manufacturer of aftermarket hot-end emissions products. From catalytic converters and OE-level components to expert technical training available on Garage Pro, BM delivers best-in-class manufacturing, rigorous performance and full compliance. Need parts you can trust? Visit bmcats.com. Partner with BM. Drive profit, exceed expectations. If you could change one thing about how well-being is handled in the trade, what would it be?
Just the importance of it. I think we forget, and I think we're all guilty of it, me included, that we don't stop until we're forced to stop.
Yeah.
And there's that old saying, isn't there? If you don't look after yourself, your body will make you stop and look after it. So how important it is. And actually for business owners, the cost of not looking after your health and well-being of your staff is huge. And you don't see it. It's not a direct hit. You're not going to see it on your bottom line, but the benefits of looking after your staff will hit your bottom line. You just won't know what that's attributed to that. But the same goes for not. It will cost you.
Yeah.
It will cost you.
Yeah. I mean, I worked in HR, that's always something that you try and be mindful of to decrease sickness levels and increase productivity, and a happy, healthy workforce is what you need to strive for.
How many times have we all talked about recruitment into the industry, the skills gap, retention, all of those things? Let's make it a lovely place to work. And it doesn't need to be lovely, soft, fluffy. It's the automotive trade. It's not a soft and fluffy job. But that doesn't mean we can't look after each other and look out for each other. So
I quite often say we lose people out to other industries. Very rarely attract people in from other industries. And I think, like you say, I think it's about making it a welcoming industry.
Yeah.
And welcoming good people in, because it's brilliant. Once you're in it, you don't leave.
Yeah, I'd never thought I'd end up in automotive, but I love it now I'm here.
So everybody says that.
Yeah, they do, don't they? We've talked a lot about the services.
Yeah.
There is another side to it. So very briefly, how can people support the charity?
So those 3 things are key for us. So raise awareness. If I can't do it on my own, you'll hear me talking all the time, but I'm only one person in my team. I can't staff that team to tell the whole industry. There's 850,000 people working in this industry. But if you told everybody you know, that would quite quickly spread. So telling people about Ben and doing it not once, keep doing it so it's front of mind and people remember. So when people say to you, oh, I don't know, I've had a really rubbish week. This is happening at home. Make it normal. Just call Ben. Like, just, it shouldn't be a dramatic thing that needs to happen for somebody to say, call Ben. Just give us a call. Even if the helpline advisor can help you at that moment and just say, give you some advice or just have a chat. Just call.
We've done it on TikToks.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with one mechanic who was really just fed up, wasn't he? And he was really struggling and kind of hating working in the industry and everything, and just sounding pretty down. So yeah, we recommended Bentham, but it's any opportunity we can, because it is, it's there, it's to be used, and why would we not recommend it?
It's hard because it's one of those things you're never going to know. You're never going to know if it works. Yeah. But I promise you it does. The biggest source of people coming through to the helpline and getting support is other people suggesting they do that. So it does work. It's just you're never going to know it has. So you have to trust that works. So doing that, doing anything you can to raise awareness. So sharing, posting, liking, talking, anything we can do to raise awareness. And then obviously fundraising and getting support. Ultimately, we wouldn't be here. There is no point in Ben existing if nobody calls us and nobody contacts us. We are here solely to support people in this industry. So use us. And
I'll add to that. You don't have to climb up Mount Kilimanjaro. No. You don't have to go to the Sahara to raise money, do you?
No.
Every penny counts.
Especially when you look at aftermarket. You're the biggest sector in the industry. Woo. Out of the 90,000 businesses, you make up like 80,000 or so. Wow. Everybody given a small amount would make a massive difference. And you would do it for each other.
Yeah.
So do it for the greater good.
Now, like I say, the raffle and things like that, anything like that, you don't have to go big.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. And we do lots of stuff that's like mass participation as well. So you can just get involved and post your pictures, and Christmas jumper day, like breakfast. Yeah. Breakfast is always good. Get your employer to cook you breakfast.
One thing that I learned only at the birthday last year was what Ben actually stands for. What is it?
What do you think? No.
We know. So.
Yeah. But you tell us why.
People ask this all the time. So Ben is benevolent. So we are the industry benevolent fund, and benevolent is the act of giving. So we're a fund that people put a collective amount of money in, and that was given out when someone was in need. So it was like the original kind of insurance policy. Oh, wow. But we have moved on from that. We are a charity, but we've kept Ben as our name because everyone knows it. Yeah. We always think, what would we call ourselves if we were new now? Probably the Automotive charity, but Ben works.
So just to kill that rumour that it's not named after the Garage Talk Unwrapped host.
Sorry.
My dad watches our stuff, and when we put in the magazine that it was Ben's 120th birthday, my dad got really confused because he was like, "What?"
We used to have a guy called Ben that worked for Ben. So when he answered the phone, if someone said, "Can I speak to Ben?" he'd be like, "Me, Ben, or Ben?" It was very confusing. And I walk into rooms regularly, and people look at me, and they're like, "You're not who I was expecting." No, I'm not Ben.
They think just everyone who works there's called Ben.
But it gets people talking about it.
So that's Ben, benevolent.
Amazing. Well, thank you for giving us a real insight into Ben, the charity. It's been interesting learning a little bit more about the support you do give. Like we say, we've been doing the life coaching, which we've both found really beneficial. And it's quite interesting actually doing it at the same time, because obviously we're husband and wife.
Yeah.
And then we come together after and be like, so what happened? What did you say? And be like, nah, see.
Do you compare notes?
No, I don't take notes.
I take notes.
I don't take notes. No.
I take all the notes.
It's great because we wouldn't talk as openly as we do without that. It just gives us that space to go and talk.
So it's a real key as well. I can talk over and over again forevermore about how good Ben is, but people talking about their experiences is the most powerful. So thank you guys for being open and talking about it.
Yeah, no, we definitely recommend it.
How can people find out about Ben?
You can go on our website, www.ben.org.uk, and there is so much on there, and you can find out about all the different ways you can access help. There's web chat, we can arrange callbacks, we can do anything that meets someone's needs on there. So have a look at that. But the easiest way is to call 0808 1311333, and you can get through to one of our helpline advisors.
Perfect. Finally, if someone's listening now and thinks they might need support, is that first step to call that number?
Yeah, just give us a shout. Even if you're worried we won't know, we won't be able to help you, just give us a call. There'll be something we can do.
Amazing. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank
No
you
worries.
so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
Really nice to talk about the services this stage, because I think that's the key this year, is tell people what you do. Not that you want money from them, that's always going to come, but what you're there for.
I'd much rather show value and then people want
Yeah.
to do that than the other way around.
Perfect. So there we go.
Yes.
It's not just mental health. I think that's important because we tend to think about it as just mental health sometimes, don't we, that Ben support with, but it's physical health, finances, general well-being. It's all that good stuff that they do.
And there's many good stories out there. There is so much for the industry, which is a lonely industry.
Yeah, definitely. Do some great work. And like we mentioned at the beginning, we're doing a 24-hour radio show for them on the 20th of August. So our Ben is going to be on the radio for 24 hours straight, joined by members of the team and different guests who will hopefully keep him entertained and keep the energy up. So if you do want to pop in and say hi, we'll be in Telford at our radio studio. So just drop us an email at hello@garagetalkonline.co.uk.
And please donate. We are looking to raise £5,000 for Ben. At this stage, we're already up to 15% of that. For the link, please go to the story on our website of the Radiothon. I'm sure there'll be more coming up.
Should also be in the description for this podcast.
Yes, it will be amazing. Right, that's all for this episode. A huge thank you to Ellen from Ben. You can find out more about the charity at ben.org.uk.
And as always, another massive thank you to BM Catalysts for being this episode's sponsor, the UK and Europe.
Wait there. Ready? The UK and Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs, and front pipes.
Way!
Yay!
You can find out more at
bmcats.com. I've done it.
Shall I do your bit now? Finally, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to follow Garage Talk Unwrapped on your favourite podcast platforms and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode.
Next time, we're talking to Eleanor Baker-Barnes from Apprenticeship Central about why the aftermarket is such an exciting career path for young people.
We also talk about some of the challenges in attracting apprentices and what garages can do to make the sector welcoming and supportive.
Right.
Until then.
Bye.